Hey guys, welcome back to our Java programming course. We explored strings in Java, and today we are moving on to another crucial concept, methods, which is methods allow you to organize your code into reusable blocks, making it easier to manage and understand. We'll cover how to define and call methods and explore method overloading and dive into recursion, a powerful technique that allows a method to call itself. By end of this lesson, you'll have a strong foundation in working with methods in Java. So let's get started with defining and calling methods. Okay, now we are moving to defining and calling methods. First one, uh, let's begin by understanding what methods are, how to define and call them. A method is a block of code that performs a specific task. We can define a method once and call it multiple times, which promotes code reuse and organization. Okay, so I will go to the program. Now you can understand. I have created a class called calculator. Then I am going to create two methods, which is add and subtract. Okay, public integer add. Okay, here I am going to type. This is the simple method to create a simple way to create a method. Here, this is the method, default method. Okay, now here I am going to add the two values, this int values, which is first I'm going to add these things. So for here I'm going to return as a integer. I'm going to write int. So for this one I'm going to return this one, which is a plus b. Okay, this is the method to use adding two numbers. Okay, these methods take two integers as parameters, perform the respective arithmetic operation, and returns the result. Okay, in the main method I'm going to write, can create an instance of a calculator. So I'm just creating the instance, which is calculator. Okay, I'm going to create an object, which is c is equal to new, again the class name here. Okay, here I'm going to call the method, which is int sum is equal to c dot add. What numbers we are going to add, which is 10 plus 10. Okay, it will return the result in the sum. So I'm going to run this program. You can check 20. You can create an instance of a calculator and call the add and the subtract methods. So okay, call the adding methods, so printing the result. Here I'm going to write again subtraction method. Okay, so here also I'm going to give as a int. So in the int there are two integers, which is a and int b. Okay, here I'm going to return as a minus b. Okay, now for the sum I'm going to type it here. For the subtraction I'm going to add difference here, which is c dot sub 25 minus 20. So going to print difference here, how much difference between these two numbers. I'm going to run this code. You can check how it was working. This is the adding value, this is the subtraction value of those things. So some key points to remember while using the method, which is a method is defined using the syntax, which is return type, method name, parameter type, and parameter name. Here it is. You can call a method by using a dot operator here, or an instance of the class. Methods promote code reuse and help organize your code into logical blocks. So in the next one we are going to the method overloading. Method overloading is nothing but Here I'm going to type method overloading. Method overloading. Method overloading allows you to define multiple methods with the same name but different parameters in the same class. It is a way to create methods that perform similar functions but different inputs. Here I'm going to write the same thing, which is public int add. This is one method, and again the another method which is return a plus b. Then add going to create another method which is the same method name, but the parameters can be changed here. In the first I have declared only 2 parameters, but in the second one I'm going to declare 3 parameters here, which returns a plus b plus c. Okay, this is another method. So I'm going to write with this thing using double add double a, which is used to add the decimal values. I'm using double here, return a plus b. Okay, now I'm going to create the main method here. You can check, and then I'm going to create an instance of the class by using the class name, and then I'm going to create an object which is new. Then again class name, going to printer. So we are going to call this method by using the dot operator. First, for the sum one, which is c dot add for the int 10 20, sorry, 10 20. This is the first sum 1, and we are going to the sum 2 is c dot add 10 plus 20 plus 30. Then I'm going to print the sum 2 here. Then int sum 3, which is, if we use the double here, so c dot add double a 10.5 16.3. Okay, here I have mentioned, okay, here I have mentioned int, just change it as double. That's why we are doing here sum 3. Okay, now we can check the results of those 3 things, how it was added: 30, 60, 26.8. Okay, in this example we overload the add method in the 3 different ways: one that takes 2 integers, one that takes 3 integers, one that takes 2 double values. The appropriate method is called a based on arguments provided method. Okay, there are some key points to key points to remember for the method overloading, which is method overloading allows you to define multiple methods with the same name but different parameters list. The return type can be different, but the parameter list must be different for the method to be considered overloaded. Overloading improves code readability and allows methods to handle different types of the input. Here we can getting the int 1 and then the double one. Okay, this is the method overloading. Finally, let's explore recursion here. I'm just going to cancel this thing. Okay, here I'm going to change as recursion. Okay, sorry, recursion. Recursion is a technique where a method calls itself to solve a problem. It is particularly useful for problems that can be broken down into smaller similar problems. So let's go to the code. I'm going to write the factorial calculator here. So here I have created a class called calculator. Then I'm going to create a method of factorial. Okay, it was created now. Then I'm going to change the classifier as public, can be used anywhere. Then I'm going to use the int to return as an integer type. So here I'm going to type int n. Okay, here I'm going to type the return method. So n double is equal to 0. First we'll choose a condition to check it is factorial or not, or you can get the original factorial of those numbers. Okay, so I'm going to type return n into factorial of n minus 1. Okay, then going to the main method, I'm going to create the instance for this class calculator. Then I'm going to create object, then I'm going to call this one by using the int result is equal to c dot factorial for the 5. Give me the factorial of 5. So result, so I'm going to print this thing, get check. In this example, we define a factorial method that calculates the factorial of a number using recursion. The method calls itself a decremented value of n reaches 0. Okay, n reaches 0, at which point the regression stops. So here we can declare the condition. So, and the results are multiplied to get the final factorial value, which is 120. Some key points to remember in the regression. Regression is a method that calls itself to solve a smaller instance of a problem. A base class, a base case is essential in regression to prevent infinite loops. In our example, the base case is n double equal to 0. Regression can simplify complex problem but can also lead to stack overflow if not implemented correctly. So that's wrap up our lesson on methods in Java. Today we have covered how to define and call methods, explore method overloading, and introduce recursion. Methods are the building blocks of any Java program, and mastering them will make your code more modular, reusable, and efficient. In our next lesson, we'll dive into object-oriented programming principles in Java, which will help you to design more robust and scalable application. So see you in the next video. Don't forget to hit it like, subscribe, and leave a comment if you found this video helpful. Happy coding, and thanks for watching, guys.